Hi, my name is Calvin Estrada. First off, I'd like to apologize for the setting of this presentation. I know in your syllabus you asked for a classroom setting with an audience, but I did not plan my time accordingly, and it's been a busy week. I know this will be detrimental to my grade, but I did not want to do this. I did not want to receive a zero for not doing a speech. Once again, I apologize. Um, First off, I want to start off with a quote by Mike Honda. He's a U.S. representative for the state of California, and he says, "My mother has always taught me that fairness was a family value. I think equal pay is about fairness for everyone." My mother, she's the vice president of her region for the Fortune 500 company Liberty Mutual. She's had over 20 years of experience. She's one of the hardest working women I know, and she's accomplished much more than a lot of her counterparts. However, she's the lowest paid vice president throughout the country. And why is that? Today, I'd like to go in depth on the pay gap in America between genders and ethnicities, and also show why equal pay is important. First, I'd like to talk about the pay gap between male and female. According to Emily Baxter from Newsweek.com, the median weekly earnings for women is $719, while men's is $871. Throughout the country, you can see men and women holding the same positions with the same credentials, same degrees. However, women are not getting paid as much as men. It's a huge problem in America. It could also be seen in the sports world. The United States women's soccer team, who is by far the more successful team between the female soccer team and the male soccer team, gets paid substantially less than the males. According to Chris Isidore from CNN, men get paid $17,000 per expedition match and no less than $5,000 if the result is a loss, while women only get paid a maximum of $4,950 if the result is a win. That's a huge disparity. It's not fair because the United States women's soccer team brings in the same amount of revenue as the males, yet they get paid way less than they should. And as you can see, the pay gap between male and female is astonishing. However, with ethnicity involved, the pay gap widens even more. The pay gap between ethnicities has always had minorities on the lower end of the spectrum. According to Keontae Key from Forbes.com, black women earn 64 cents. Latino women only earn 55 cents for every dollar a white male earns. In the same exact position, with the same credentials, the same degrees, the women of color are getting paid less. She also states that single white women from the age of 34 and 49, median's net worth is $42,600, while the net worth for single women of color is $5. Another gap that is huge, and it's a big problem. The pay gap between women of color to white males is even wider. Now I'd like to look at how it's diminished this problem. Amelia Fisher from AmericanProgress.org suggests the United States needs to address both the structural drivers behind the pay gap and the persistent cultural biases against women and people of color if it wants to truly affect a change in these populations. The pay gap problem in America is just a minute example of the discrimination in our country. A lot of people want to think that discrimination isn't prevalent, but it is, and it shows in our workforce. The discrimination between women and also the discrimination between women of color is shown through statistics and It's a problem that Americans need to address. In conclusion, my mom, she holds all the credentials everyone in her position holds. She has the degree, she has the experience, she has all the accolades. Yet, why is she getting paid less than everyone in her position? Throughout the entire country, there's 10 vice presidents in her company. She is the only woman, and she's the only person of ethnicity out of those 10. It saddens me that this is a problem in America, but it angers me that it touches me so personally. My mother deserves everything she's worked for. She's the hardest working person I know, yet she isn't getting paid fairly for what she does. The pay gap may not affect everyone in the country, but it is a huge problem that Americans need to address. Women of color being the biggest victim, America must take a stand and address this discrimination in our country. Thank you.